Oh yeah. What up, guys? Your boy Radical Jack, man. Doing some car karaoke. Now it's fun. So look, in the midst of Kentucky, being backwards as hell, as usual, and declining to change the abortion rule with the fetal sound and women having to be, subject to looking at the ultrasound before they get an abortion. We're going to go ahead and do a Radical Jack rewind. You know what I'm saying? That was my rewind sound. You like it? Anyway, so we're going to do a Radical Jack rewind. We're going to go back and listen to what I think about abortion. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you guys can learn something. But this is a very, very big topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? So, in the midst of that Supreme Court ruling, instead of being so relevant, we're going to go ahead and do that rewind. You guys kick in, tune in. All that good stuff, man. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get to it.
So, let's get into this main topic here, man. So, I normally don't discuss things that don't have anything to do with my body, but this one is necessary to me, man. There's a lot of controversy here, man. So, we have to discuss these crazy laws they're trying to spread with the abortion ban nonsense, you know what I'm saying? The debate over whether or not abortion should be legal. It continues to divide America long after the U.S. Supreme Court 7-2 decision on Roe versus Wade declared the procedure a fundamental right. And that was way back in January 1973, bro. But hey, this is the topics that we have to discuss now because they out here trying to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to send women to jail over miscarriages. Like, we're not even talking about abortions. They trying to send you to jail over a miscarriage, bro. And I mean, I get it. There are women out here who do the on purpose miscarriages, you know what I'm saying? That's terrible terminology. But, they take pills, or they'll go and drink too much, or they'll do a combination of certain things to make sure that the baby is terminated. But giving them a murder charge, that's a little extra, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we conquer rape first? Jesus. Anyway, so for you guys that don't know, abortion is the ending of a pregnancy by removal or expulsion of an embryo or fetus before it can survive outside the uterus. All right? An abortion that occurs without intervention is known as a miscarriage or spontaneous abortion. There are two ways of ending a pregnancy: in-clinic abortion and the abortion pill. Both are safe. Both are very common. All right? Now, proponents, identifying themselves as pro-choice, contend that choosing abortion is a woman's right that should not be limited by governmental or religious authority, and which outweighs any right claim for an embryo or fetus. They say that pregnant women will resort to unsafe illegal abortions if there is no legal option. All right? Now, opponents, identifying themselves as pro-life, contend that individual human life begins at fertilization, and therefore abortion is the immoral killing of an innocent human being. They say abortion inflicts suffering on an unborn child, and that is unfair to allow abortion when couples who cannot biologically conceive are waiting to adopt. Pause. Now, I'm not going to stay too long on the adopt thing, but you guys kill me with this. All right? All you people out there that are pro-life and adopt this, and this. If people were so hyped up on adoption, why do we have so many children in this fucked up ass system? Don't worry about it. Anyway, so let's do some abortion pros and cons, all right? I'm going to do the pros first because that's positive, all right? And then we're going to do the cons because, sheesh, these things is, oof, man. All right. Here's some pros. All right. The U.S. Supreme Court has declared abortion to be a fundamental right, guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. The landmark abortion case Roe versus Wade, decided on January 22nd, 1973, in favor of abortion rights, remains the law of the land. All right. Reproductive choice empowers women by giving them control over their bodies. The choice over when and whether to have children is central to a woman's independence and ability to determine her future. Former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor wrote a 1992 decision in Planned Parenthood versus Casey. All right. Now, Personhood begins after a fetus becomes viable. Viable meaning able to survive outside the womb. Or after birth, not at conception. So, embryos and fetuses are not independent, self-determining beings, and abortion is the termination of a pregnancy, not a baby. All right? Fetuses are incapable of feeling pain when most abortions are performed. According to a review by Britain's Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, most neuroscientists believe that the cortex is necessary for pain perception, and the cortex does not become functional until at least the 26th week of the fetus development. Whew. Access to legal, professionally performed abortions reduces maternal injury and death caused by unsafe, illegal abortions. Modern abortion procedures are safe and do not cause lasting health issues such as cancer and infertility. Women who receive abortions are less likely to suffer mental health problems than women denied abortion. All right. A peer-reviewed study compared the mental health of women who received abortions to women denied abortions and found that women who were denied abortions felt more regret and anger and less relief and happiness. Women who are denied abortions are more likely to become unemployed, to be on public welfare, to be below the poverty line, and to become victims of domestic violence. Last pro, a baby should not come into the world unwanted. Having a child is an important decision that requires consideration, preparation, and planning. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment stated that unintended pregnancies are associated with birth defects, low birth weight, maternal depression, increased risk of child abuse, lower educational attainment, delayed entry into prenatal care, a high risk of physical violence during pregnancy, and reduced rates of breastfeeding. 45% of all pregnancies among American women are unintended. That's a big ass number. All right. Now, those are the pros. Now, these cons, man, kind of ruthless. So, let's see here. Abortion is murder. The killing of an innocent human being is wrong, even if that human being has yet to be born. Unborn babies are considered human beings by the U.S. government. The Federal Unborn Victims of Violence Act, which was enacted to protect unborn children from assault and murder, states that under federal law, anybody intentionally killing or attempting to kill an unborn child should be punished for intentionally killing or attempting to kill a human being. The act also states that an unborn child is a member of the species Homo sapien. At least 38 states have passed similar fetal homicide laws. All right. Life begins at conception. So unborn babies are human beings with the right to life. Upon fertilization, a human individual is created with a unique genetic identity that remains unchanged throughout his or her life. Fetuses feel pain during an abortion procedure. Maureen Condick, PhD, Associate Professor of Neurobiology and Anatomy, and Adjunct Associate Professor of Pediatrics at the University of Utah School of Medicine. And that's a lot, but I want you guys to know I'm over here getting facts. I'm not just pulling the shit out of my ass. Explains that the most primitive response to pain, the spinal reflex, is developed by 8 weeks gestation. And adds that there is a universal agreement that pain is detected by the fetus in the first trimester. According to, I don't know how to say this man's name, Kanwaljit J.S. Anand, MBBS, Professor of Pediatrics, Anesthesiology, and Neurobiology at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center. If the fetus is beyond 20 weeks of gestation, I would assume that there will be pain caused to the fetus, and I believe it will be severe and excruciating pain. All right? So, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm giving y'all pros and cons, because you can see the pros, people say that there's no pain, and then the cons, there's other people who have said there is pain. So, take it with a grain of salt. Now, abortion is the killing of a human being, which defies the word of God. The Bible does not draw a distinction between fetuses and babies. The Greek word brephos is used in the Bible to refer to both an unborn child and an infant. By the time a baby is conceived, he or she is recognized by God as demonstrated in Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out the womb, I sanctified thee. The sixth commandment of the Bible's Old Testament, thou shalt not kill, Exodus 20:13, applies to all human beings, including unborn babies. In the Hindu religion, the holy text, Kashitaki Upanishad, states that abortion is an equivalent misdeed to killing one's own parents. The BBC states that traditional Buddhism rejects abortion because it involves the deliberate destroying of a life. Whew, that was a lot. All right, now, abortions cause psychological damage. A peer-reviewed study published by the Scandinavian Journal of Public Health found that young adult women who undergo abortion may be at increased risk for subsequent depression. All right, a peer-reviewed study published in BMC Medicine found that women who underwent an abortion had significantly higher anxiety scores on the hospital anxiety and depression scale up to 5 years after the pregnancy termination. A peer-reviewed study published by the Southwestern Medical Journal of more than 173,000 American women found that women who aborted were 154% more likely to commit suicide than women who carried to term. Now, a study published in the British Medical Journal reported that the mean annual suicide rate amongst women who had an abortion was 34.7 per 100,000 compared to the mean rate of 11.3 per 100,000 in the general population of women. Abortions reduce the number of adoptable babies. Instead of having the option to abort, women should give their unwanted babies to people who cannot conceive. The percentage of infants given up for abortion in the United States declined from 9% of those born before 1973 to 0.5% of those born in 2014. Selective abortion based on genetic abnormalities, eugenic termination, is overt discrimination. All right, so if you guys don't get that, that just means like if you find out your baby's gonna have Down syndrome or any type of birth defect, you choose to terminate the pregnancy, and they're saying that's overt discrimination. If a woman becomes pregnant, they should accept the responsibility that comes with producing a child. People need to take responsibility for their actions and accept their consequences. Having sexual intercourse, even when contraceptive methods are used, carries with the risk of pregnancy. Sheesh. That's tough. I don't know who said that, but I know a lot of y'all probably just got mad. All right. It shouldn't just be the woman that has to accept responsibility, and I don't know why we continue this stigma that if you're pregnant, it don't matter if the man's there or not, you just need to accept it. That's fucked up. All right, so the original text of the Hippocratic Oath, traditionally taken by doctors when swearing to practice medicine ethically, forbids abortion. One section of the classical version of the oath reads, "I will not give a woman a pessary, a device inserted into the vagina to cause an abortion." Now, the modern version of the Hippocratic Oath, written in 1964 by Louis Lasagna, is that really his last name, Lasagna? Okay. Louis Lasagna still effectively forbids doctors from performing abortions in the line. Above all, I must not play at God. Now, that's a gray area there. I must not play at God. I feel like destroying things is not really playing at God. I feel like more so creating things is trying to play God. But I mean, hey, whatever. Teach his own. Abortion promotes a culture in which a human life is disposable. The legalization of abortion sends a message that human life has little value. Abortion may lead to future medical problems for the mother. A study published by the peer-reviewed International Journal of Epidemiology estimated that about 15% of first trimester miscarriages are attributed to a prior history of induced abortion, and stated that induced abortion by vacuum aspiration is associated with an increased risk of first trimester miscarriage in the subsequent pregnancy. A Chinese study published in a peer-reviewed Indian Journal of Cancer Foundation found an association between breast cancer and the history of abortions. A study published in the peer-reviewed Cancer Causes and Control found that abortion is significantly associated with an increased risk of breast cancer, and that the risk of breast cancer increases as the number of abortions. Ooh, wow, okay. So breast cancer increases as the number of abortions increase. So the more abortions you get, the more at risk you are. And also, my black women out here, you guys are already more susceptible to breast cancer. So, I mean, that sucks. But there's a lot of big words I just had to read. All right. That's why I had to stumble sometimes. It ain't that I can't read. It's just that I don't be saying these kind of words all the time. Medical terminology is ridiculous. And then all these foreign people with their weird names. Hey, man. What is a Akashitaki? Anyway. So, yeah. Those are the pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? Personally, like I said, I don't want to pick sides because, like I said, I don't have a vagina. I don't have ovaries. I don't have a uterus. You know what I'm saying? I can't give birth. I don't have to go through the burden of carrying a child. So it's not my job to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body. I personally don't think that abortion should be illegal. I have personally had to have an abortion. I mean, not me. I haven't had to have an abortion, but I have funded an abortion. And, you know what I'm saying? It hurt, but at the same time, when you're not ready for a child, you're not ready, you know what I mean? And I would hate to bring a child into the world and you can't take care of them, you know? I actually had a lot more pros and cons, but I just read these because these are the more significant ones. Here's some more random facts for you guys, though. From Roe versus Wade in 1973 to 2017, over 60 million legal abortions are estimated to have been performed in the United States. That's an average of about 1.4 million abortions per year. All right, and about 1 in 4 U.S. women will have an abortion before the age of 45. 1 in 4 before the age of 45. Okay, so it's a lot more common than you might want to believe or think. It happens all the time, and I mean, we can't really, I'm not here to say that it's a bad thing that it happens all the time. The adoption thing, yeah, it sounds good. But if you really look in the mirror and look at yourself right now, ask yourself, would I adopt a child? Because I can wholeheartedly tell you guys, I can't. I can't do it. Like, I have my daughter, and the love that I have for my daughter, I'm too selfish of an individual to adopt somebody and automatically say that I'd be willing to just, unconditionally love you. And, I mean, that might sound a little fucked up, but that's just honesty, man. I personally I couldn't do it. The way I love Journey, I can never love another child like that. It's just a different feeling. Now, for people who can't conceive, that's a totally different thing. I'm not in that boat, so I can't say how they feel. But just me personally, that wouldn't work for me. So I'm one of those few people that aren't part of the adoption world, so I wouldn't be able to do the adopting thing. Now, a woman's risk of dying from having an abortion is 0.6 out of 100,000. While the risk of dying from giving birth is around 14 times higher. It's actually 8.8 in 100,000. So the mortality rate of a colonoscopy is more than 40 times greater than that of abortion. So if you guys are worried about the dangers of abortion, men get colonoscopies all the time. And how many times do we really hear about those deaths? So, I mean, that's not really a valid argument here. 8.6% of abortions reported to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention in 2014 were undergone by women who had 3 or more previous abortions. Sheesh. All right, look, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but if you having 3 or 4 abortions, yo, stop. I don't even know how else to say that. Stop. Like, stop. Why are you getting pregnant that much, first of all? Like, if you don't want the baby, and you don't want a baby, there are contraceptives, okay? And I get it, it's not 100%, but damn. You shouldn't be having 3 or 4 abortions, y'all. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. 45% of abortions were undergone by women who had 1 or more previous abortions, all right? So 8% are 3 or more, 45% are 1 or, one or more. I'd rather say one or less because whatever. But yeah, multiple abortion thing. I mean, I don't know what the number is, but I just have to say, if you got like 3 abortions on you, you're a murderer. Now that's kind of harsh, but damn, like I get it. You mess up once, or a traumatic experience happens, when you get pregnant because some sick motherfucker touched you. That's different. But if you out here just fucking, come on, man. Like, come on. All right, so trigger laws. All right, so trigger laws are abortion bans that would stop all or nearly all. Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Abortion bans that would stop all or nearly all abortions if Roe versus Wade is overturned. During the 2018 midterm elections, voters in Alabama and West Virginia. Okay, let's just. Alabama and West Virginia, like, cousin fuck city. Like, that's like cousin fucking country. Alabama, ain't nobody fucking my sister but me. And West Virginia, of course they voted in favor. Wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got distracted. Anyway, voters in Alabama and West Virginia voted in favor of a constitutional amendment that would restrict access to abortion. Now, if Roe versus Wade were to be overturned by the Supreme Court, as of April 1st, 2019, 6 states have trigger laws that would ban all or nearly all abortions, and an additional 5 states have trigger laws that were blocked by the courts but could be put in effect if Roe versus Wade is ever overturned. Now, Alabama and West Virginia, of course, they're going to vote for this, bro. They love their families. They want to keep their bloodlines intact. They want the kids with 6 toes and 3 eyes. But let me stop. I'm just playing. That's rude. If you're from Alabama and you support the show, I'm just playing, kind of. If you're from West Virginia, y'all nasty. And those are facts. All right, so anybody know Jane Elliott? Jane Elliott is the lady that is famous for doing her I think she doesn't like to say it's an experiment. But yeah, an experiment she did with her children in her class where she classified them as brown-eyed and blue-eyed so they can kind of see what it looks like to, be prejudiced. So you can kind of see what black people go through from being discriminated against for our skin. And Jane Elliott was discussing how she thinks they're doing away with abortion simply for white population control. So, as of this recording, 60% of abortions are white people. So, if they keep that percentage alive, they will avoid becoming a minority. And this guy, Ben Ladenburg, said that the main problem in the U.S. is there aren't enough white babies being born. And because of that, white people will lose their country. So, Ben wants, he wants all babies born because as long as he don't care how the baby was made, rape, incest, it doesn't matter. If the baby's white, he wants it to be born so there's still enough white people in this country so they don't lose their quote-unquote country. All right? Shit's crazy. Now, that brings me to our Can't Fix Stupid. Here we go. All right. Ben, he's actually the first dumbass in the Can't Fix Stupid conversation. All right. Now, I'm just going to read you guys a few quotes here from a couple of idiots that just so happen to be, senators, governors, just people in office in general. It's kind of ridiculous. All right. So, Clayton Williams, a Republican from Texas. Shout out Texas, right? Jesus. Rape is kind of like the weather. If it's inevitable, relax and enjoy it. Well, how kind of stupid shit is that, man? Like, I just wonder sometimes what comes out of people's heads. Like, do you think, like when you say shit like this, do you think about your mom or your daughter or your sister? I only say those 3 because, saying cousins, aunts, nieces and stuff, people might not be close to. You could say they're distant relatives. But your mother, your daughter, and your sister, like, would you really want them to think, oh, rape is like the weather? if he's doing it, just, hey, relax and enjoy it. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. And then Todd Aiken, he's a Republican from Missouri. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to shut that thing down. Now, these are people that you guys out here in the world vote for, and they say stupid shit like this. And then they wonder why America is in the state that it's at, because we got dumb motherfuckers like this running the country. All right? Rick Sadenrow, I don't care how to say his name, a Republican from Pennsylvania, he said a rape victim should make the best of a bad situation. If that's the case, somebody should throw this motherfucker in a jail cell and let him get raped and tell him to make the best out of that situation. All right? And Richard Murdoch, a Republican from Indiana, he said, even when life begins in that horrible situation of rape, that is something that God intended to happen. Now, this falls in the lines of everything happens for a reason, but fuck that. All right? No offense to my Christian people. I mean, I'm Christian myself, but I'm sorry, man. I don't feel like everything that happens is just God intended for it to happen. People have free will and motherfuckers are sick out here. You know what I'm saying? If you get raped, it's not some shit that's just, yeah, you're just supposed to go through that. Like, no. There's some sick motherfucker who wasn't raised right who needs his ass beat. And then, I thought it was only men that were making stupid statements like this, but there's even stupid women out here. Women who have, a whole vagina. And this lady, Jody Lobenberg, once again from Texas, Republican, in the emergency room, they have what's called rape kits, where a woman can get cleaned out. Rape kits, where women get cleaned out. Now, I'm not even going to go into this, but you seriously can't fix stupid, guys. Yeah, that's just... The fact that a woman even said this is even sadder. That shit's ridiculous. All right, and then we got Lawrence Lockman. He's a Republican from Maine. If a woman has the right to an abortion, why shouldn't a man be free to use his superior strength to force himself on a woman? At least the rapist's pursuit of sexual freedom doesn't, in most cases, result in anyone's death. Lawrence Lockman, you need to suck 15 AIDS dicks, nigga. That's fucking stupid. And these are the motherfuckers that we have in office right now. These are people that are currently in office. And this dude literally just said, we should just let people rape as long as we have abortion. And these are the stupid people that you guys elect for our country. But America's the best country in the fucking world, right? This type of shit is ridiculous. I'm not even gonna do all that. Just know the shit is ridiculous, man. All right, abortion shouldn't be banned. I said I wouldn't pick a side. Fuck that. Abortion shouldn't be banned. Period. All right. If you got a problem with abortion, that's you. Okay. A lot of people got a lot of problems with things. I got a problem with drivers who don't know how to use their blinker. Can't ban them for having a driver's license. All right. Look. At the end of the day, if you're a grown-ass adult, should nobody be able to tell you what you can and cannot do with your life, especially if it doesn't interfere with any other person's life, okay? If a woman is pregnant and she knows good and goddamn well she's going to be a shitty mother, I am all in favor of her saying, you know what, let me stop this shit. Instead of her having a baby and raising a child in some kind of toxic environment. Doesn't matter what the stipulations are. There's no reason that you should bring a baby into this earth if you know the baby is just going to have a traumatic ass life. You're just going to create another fucked up human walking around here destroying shit. You know what I'm saying? Hurt people, man. And if you're raised in a shitty ass household, because of a situation that couldn't be controlled because some old ass white dude who doesn't know shit about shit voted on some shit, that's fucked up. Period. So, You know what I'm saying? That was the can't fix stupid segment because motherfuckers is dumb. Uh, Commander in 45 said that abortion is when a woman goes to the doctor, delivers the baby, wraps the baby, has a conversation with the baby, and then gives the baby to the doctor so the doctor can terminate the baby. Now, if that ain't the most ignorant shit I've ever heard, and this is from the guy, the face of our country right now, the orange motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know, you want to be a Trump supporter, blah, blah, blah. It's one thing to support somebody. It's another thing to use your own brain to understand that people say stupid shit. You don't have to necessarily hate Trump to admit that the motherfucker's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're a fan of somebody doesn't mean you have to be a fan of everything they do just because you're a fan. At that point, you're a puppet. Utilize that brain you have in your head and wake up and realize, free thinking is the best way. Okay, because the way that the country is going and the way that the world is moving, pretty soon free thinking is going to be banned. And you're going to have to think the way that they tell you to. Motherfuckers going to start charging us for air. We're going to have to start paying to breathe. We're going to be able to walk around with goddamn... Our houses, they're going to start cutting air supply to people's houses and shit. People going to have to start paying for air. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay to think. They're going, y'all ever seen Fahrenheit, 459, some shit like that? There's a book about it, too. They just burn all the books. You know what I'm saying? Everything you can't read. You know what I'm saying? There's a movie. It's on HBO. Michael B. Jordan's in it. But there's also a book that you can read about it, too. It's based off the book. But, they burn all the books. And, basically, if you have an imagination, you're wrong. And I feel like that there's so many people already out here like this. Free thinking is looked at as such a bad thing. You're hurting people's feelings or you just, oh man, it's ridiculous. You cannot have an opinion nowadays without being wrong. That shit dead, bro. Like, if that's how you think, then you've already lost. You already, your life is already fucked up as is. You continue to be that way. All right, I'm here for free thinkers and people who have their own thoughts and opinions. Whether it's offensive, hey, fuck it. If something's offensive, guess what? You can always speak up and say, hey, man, that's kind of fucked up. But you can also have the conversation and figure it out. Maybe it wasn't offensive. Maybe you just took it the wrong way. Pussy. I digress. Abortion is not wrong. Anywho, let's move on to something happy. Nah, so, saying we coming to the end, man. I figured I'd do this topic because a lot of people have really been talking about it. It's been a really big thing, especially the last month or so. A lot of people have been going through it. And I notice a lot of people also talk about stuff that they've never experienced themselves, especially guys. We like to just say shit. There's some of us out here who have a brain and realize, saying, hey, let's chill out. You know what I'm saying? But some of us are out here just talking out our ass because that's just what it is. A lot of people think they're free thinkers, but you're really just an idiot, just mumbling shit that you've heard, and you really don't have any idea what you're actually talking about. And I feel like those are the dumb motherfuckers that come up with abortion is trash and you should take responsibility for what you did. But then they, at the same time, they say, if the man is gone, you can't control that. So she can't control the man leaving, but she's supposed to raise his baby. Fuck out of here. That's the type of dumb shit I'm talking about, man. Like, motherfuckers is dumb. And I know I'm saying a lot of F words here, man, but you know what I'm saying? Given the topic, shit necessary. Because that's what these people are, dumb fucks. There's no other way to say that. I call you stupid and I call you dumb and ignorant and not knowing, but it just doesn't hold the gravity that I need when I say you're fucking stupid. Like, that shit works. But you already know, man. It's Radical Jack, man. Talk shit or die trying, right? Those is facts. Physics. Wow. So, boom. Let's do these social media plugs. I'm back on social media. Not as heavy as I used to be. I'll respond to anything. I don't really post like that, though. So, find us on the IG at radical_jack_film and fitness. On Facebook, it's going to be facebook.com at radicaljackmovies. Twitter _radicaljack. And, of course, the official podcast website is anchor.fm/Xavier-Jackson. Of course, you can hear me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all major podcast and streaming sites. And that's going to be at Radical Jack's Views. Simple, you know. Now, the intro and ending music, of course, is done by my boy Kevin. Catch him at Young Smitty at SoundCloud. Make sure you guys are supporting the culture, man. BTC Apparel, man. If you need a shirt made, holla at my man Marcus Stover. He'll hook you up. All right. It's summer. It is summer. It's officially summer. Make sure you guys check out Easy Braun. All right. My man Etai Jalen is out here doing a damn thing. He's a teacher, so during the school year, you know, he still works his ass off, but during the summer, he's free. You know what I'm saying? So Easy Braun. E-Z. Not the word, just Easy Braun, Brawn. Check him out on social media. Holla at my man if you got a kid that you want to get into some athletics. You really want your kid to develop. Check him out. All right. You got a movie. You got a video. You got, you know, any type of idea that needs a camera. Check out Busy Bear Productions and Rudy Cruz. Need some fly kicks. Check out my man Chris Drone at Get 'em Kicks. All right. Whew, man. I know sometimes you be wondering, man. He does a lot of shout-outs. They don't pay me. These are just my niggas. I fuck with them. Nico Freeman. You know what I'm saying? Check him out. Hulk Smash. You know what I mean? Check him out on Instagram. You want to get right, my man's to hook you up. Last but not least, man. Shout out my daughter, man. Little Journey, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby. Just want to tell you I love you. She don't listen to none of these podcasts, but shoot, whatever. One day she'll hear it. Daddy loves you. All right. Now, this podcast is all about Jack's radical views. You, my listeners, are welcome. I don't have all the answers. Maybe you do. Let's discuss it. At me.